Today we are going to talk about the issue of your financial health. Abundance and lack originates from the mind. Let me tell you this story. I have a friend. He is paid 8,500 cedis. That's how much such a friend he earns. At the end of every month, he is paid 8,500 cedis. And that is the gross. Deductions are made. Then from what I know, he is left with around 6,800. He uses a 4x4 vehicle. And per my discussion and what I know about that vehicle, the engine consumption is around 2.4. The engine consumption on the car that he uses is about 2.4 liters. He spends roughly getting to 100 cedis on fuel every day. So in a month, you are looking at somewhere around 3,000 Ghana cedis just on fuel. Maintenance is not part of it, because when you are using a car, you have to do maintenance. Let's put maintenance aside. Just on fuel, in a month, this gentleman spends 3,000 Ghana cedis of his salary on fuel. So now that salary, which is 6,800, has now been reduced to 3,800. You see such a gentleman moving around in a nice 4x4 car, but that car alone is consuming half of his income. And even that one, I have not included maintenance and other things, because you will have to wash the car, you have to go to washing bay, you have to maintain it, you have to, if you have used the car before, you understand what I'm talking about. So if I begin to go into the details, I can see that that car even consumes more than half of his salary. But let's stay at the level of half of his salary. This same gentleman is married to a wife who also has a car, and the car that she's using consumes 2.0 liters. The wife works around Accra, and the gentleman works around Circle. In the morning, the wife will move the car and go to work, and the husband will also move his car and also go to work. So let's say the man is consuming 3,000 Ghana cedis on fuel. The wife is also consuming, let's say, even 2,000 Ghana cedis on fuel in a month. Just on fuel. I'm not talking about maintenance or anything. I'm just looking at the car. The cars that they are using takes 5,000 Ghana cedis out of their income. If I should include washing bay and other general expenses, I would say that expense will go to somewhere around 6,000 Ghana cedis. And on weekends, we have a. Now, this is the point I want to make. These same individuals, when we come and we sit down, we are talking, there are issues of things are expensive. So the salary when it comes, and currently they feel like the country is so tough, so they want to travel and stuff and blah blah blah. Pastor, the purpose of this video is, Charlie, you need to learn how to manage your finances. You need to. Me, for instance, of course, I have more resources than this gentleman. I have far more resources than this gentleman. But he lives a much higher standard of life than myself. He lives a much higher standard of living than myself. And usually from time to time he will call that he needs certain helps and stuff. And as sometimes I try to avoid those conversations, because to him, because you come to me but you're always living a standard of living which is above. I'm driving a Toyota Vit. Why am I driving it? I used to drive a Mitsubishi Outlander 4x4. The engine consumption was also 2.4, and I sold it because I realized that the consumption was too high. It was very expensive, because I have other cars, I have vans and that I'm using in my business, and just the 4x4 will be consuming 2.4 in a month. I spend only into 4,000 Ghana cedis. It didn't make sense to me. Okay, it didn't make sense. Maintenance of that vehicle is also very expensive. So I had a Vit, looking at the fuel situation in this country. I had a Vit, very economical, engine 1.3. If you have used a Vit before, you will know that this is a car that is very economical, very efficient. It's able to do the job for you. It's as simple as you can get. The parts are reasonable. Do you understand me? It's able to serve my needs. Okay? And I'm saying this in the sense that I am living a moderate life. But we have a lot of Ghanaians. And as I'm pointing, I hope you are not one of those people who live certain standards of life which is above your means. Even those who have the means to live those kind of life choose not to. We have because we do not spend it. Those who have, they have it because they do not spend it. I made a video and I was explaining that those who really have, they even spend less than 10% of what they make. Yeah, they spend less than 10% of what they make. But you are spending almost 100%, and there are some of you even spend more than 100%. You end up spending all the salary that has been given to you. Then you even go and borrow. Why are you living above your means? Why? Why are you living above your means? You are living a kind of lifestyle whereby about half of your salary is going into the payment of your fuel, just for your car. Then which money would you use to pay your children's school fees, to pay your rent, to pay for utilities? And more importantly, which money will you be able to gather to start the business that I have been advocating? Because when you talk to such people, they tell you, oh yeah boss, you don't have money, you are trying to put money in. How will you get money when you are spending half of it on your fuel, half of it on fuel, on your car? My friend, there is a time and there is a season for everything under this earth. I'm not saying that I'm going to drive the Toyota Vit for the rest of my life, but there is a time for it. For me, I have given myself up to the age of 40. Above that age, now I'll begin to live the kind of life I want to live. But until then, I am planting. From the age of 20 to the age of 40 is a period for planting. Is a period for planting. Because the Bible says that there is a time for planting and there's a time for harvesting. He that plants sparingly would reap sparingly. And when you plant abundantly, you reap abundantly. So for me, I am on the journey of planting. Any resources that come to me, I plant it, I invest it. When it comes, I invest it. When it comes, I invest it. It doesn't come for me to say, I'm going to buy a new car, I'm going to buy a new house, I'm going to build a house or whatever. No. When it comes, what I think about is, let me reinvest it, so that if I'm making 10,000 in a month, I want to invest it in such a way that I can now make 20,000 in a month. And now when I'm making 20,000 a month and I'm making that profit, I'm now thinking about how do I invest this money so that I begin to make 40,000 in a month. Then after doing the investment and now I'm making 40,000 in a month, I now begin to think, how do I invest this money so that I make 80,000 in the month? And when I begin to make 80,000 in a month, I'm looking at how I begin to move to 160,000 in a month. That is how we think. That is how I think. But you, on the other hand, when you make an income, you are thinking about how you want to spend the money. And you are here claiming that Ghana is difficult. My friend, put your house in order. And better still, I would encourage you to subscribe to this channel, like, and comment.